For the month of May, Rad Rolls is coming together to celebrate Wes Johnson's Voice of Palooza to benefit The Longest Day, which is a part of the Alzheimer's Association. Worldwide, 50 million people are living with Alzheimer's or another dementia. More than 6 million Americans are living with Alzheimer's. More than 11 million Americans are providing unpaid care for people living with Alzheimer's or other dementia. The money you raise through our campaign through The Longest Day advances the care, support, and research efforts of the Alzheimer's Association. The Alzheimer's Association leads the way to end Alzheimer's and all other dementia by accelerating global research, driving risk reduction and early detection, and maximizing quality care and support. As the world's largest nonprofit funder of Alzheimer's research, the Alzheimer's Association is committed to accelerating the global effort to eliminate Alzheimer's. Link is in the description to donate. We're running this campaign the whole month of May along with other Fallout content creators. So now is the time to donate to a great cause that the Fallout community is coming together for. Thank you.
You're listening to WRRS 22, Pirate Radio for the Wasteland. Thump, 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 folks. Ever hear a big old house walking around the swamp? Neither have I. And no, I'm not talking one of those mobile homes from the old time. I'm talking about a big house with giant legs popping out of it. Some folks are saying that when the mist falls upon the bayou that they hear a sound and see the slender gams trotting around the woods. So watch where you step. Anyways, time to let the show roll.
Meanwhile, Hazel is pulling like kidney stones out of the mass of flesh that's left over of Spider-Man. Like, I think,
if you will,
guys, I think we're done here.
If you will refer to your map, you have other locations on there that you have not gone to yet. There's no particular order that you need to do anything in, by the way, and you don't necessarily have to go to all of these locations, but that is the map as you see it right now.
So we have visited the beehive. We've visited the Stonehenge hands. Yeah, because we got swamp honey. And then there's the Stonehenge hand guy
at this spider door.
Yep, and we've visited Spider Door. So what we are left with is what appears to be an outcropping with stone and maybe a crate. What appears to be Baba Yaga's house, and what appears to be a graveyard at the base of a hill. And you can correct me on any of those descriptions if I've butchered them.
No, I think that is an apt description for what you see on the map. It's not for me to give the description of the area. These are just this is my artist rendering. It's like I'm at
if you think I'm going to spend luck points to make those right, then you've got another thing coming.
No.
I say, if the cemetery
like an ice cream
away,
shop, and I'm like, this is hell now. You're now in a fire pit. Sorry, I drew it
now.
Wrong.
Did our friend with the honey? Did he mention something about the Baba Yaga house?
Yeah, he did. He said that she helped him. I guess you could go back and listen to what he said again. I'm pretty sure that she said that he said that she has helped him and knows some stuff about the area.
Yeah, let's head to the house.
Cool. So you all are kind of walking through this like bayou swamp area, and it gets kind of like more crowded with trees, and these trees are twisting and turning, and it's almost like a dark cloud hangs overhead, and you start to hear this thum, 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 and you hear twigs moving and trees kind of like not necessarily breaking, but almost like they're like churning a little bit in themselves. Then you see almost in like a shadow through the trees this kind of like house that's just kind of floating along, moving, and below it there are these legs. They're spindly, but they're very strong, the bottoms of them, and it's moving the house round in a very strange motion, not necessarily like straight up, but kind of left to right as it kind of topples itself over. There's a porch on this house with a door. There's a window at top. It's almost like a log cabin in itself. It's not a very big house, but most you can see are these gray, spindly legs with giant, like they've got these like giant, almost like hooves in some description, but they're kind of like grayish on them, and this house and the legs do not care about you. It is just moving around this wooded area.
Does it look like the legs are kind of mechanical, like Howl's Moving Castle, or do they look like they're biological, like there's a super mutant behemoth that accidentally got stuck in a house?
Yeah,
that would be the
agility,
best.
Agility plus science for difficulty 1, because you're racing to go and look at these legs as they're moving.
All right, agility plus science.
Fast science.
Fast science.
Science. Sounds like my job.
Wait, really?
My job?
Fast science.
No, my real job. Not Clark's job.
No, I am talking about your real job. Fast?
I mean, it's a startup.
Okay,
really
got it. Got that
we don't
part.
dick around very much.
Got that part. Got it. Okay.
Hazel, you got 3 successes and add a luck point to your character sheet. That's 2 AP for the group and 1 luck point. Yeah, you really pulled off that roll really nicely.
That was some fast
you
science.
Look at these legs, and you can tell that they are
Fast
biological in nature. That they're kind of like grayish. They have like a little bit of almost like some, like they're skinny. They're like spindly, but they have enough like footing at the bottom to create traction. But they're very large.
So, guys, that house, or at least its legs, are alive, or like biological at least. It's not like a machine or something, like some sort of big stompy mechanical thing. So
Hazel, do we have to run after it, or can we just like
we
can just break the legs?
Well, don't you want to know what it is?
I mean, we can
larger
learn
than
what it
any
is
living thing I've ever seen.
We can learn what it is after it's dead.
I mean, it's a walking house. I'm not really concerned about it. We can move on.
All right. Okay, we don't have to kill it. If we can just tie up its legs, it won't be able to move anymore, right? And I've got this rope. So one of us, if one of us can distract the other, at least one of us can like run around in a circle around the legs and tie up the legs. Maybe.
So why are we capturing the
house? Are we pulling a Hoth or are we pulling an Endor?
How fast? How fast is it moving?
I don't know what either of those things mean, but yes.
No, that's out of character. But yeah, are we A-wing lassoing the legs, or
honestly,
are we?
I was thinking more Hoth, but Endor is probably more possible since we're not flying.
How fast are like the legs themselves moving? Like, sorry, so you can run to catch up to like the whole house, but are like, is it like taking really fast small steps or like sort of long strides?
That would be creepy. That would be super creepy.
Long lumbering strides. Okay, all right. I want to try and climb up to the house. I want to climb. I want to climb up the legs and into the house.
If it was
You're gonna try to climb
ballerina
up the wall?
point stepping,
Yeah,
I'd be
exactly. That's
backing
my
out.
concern.
I'd be backing
That
out.
I didn't know that was a nightmare of mine until just now.
Ballerina
If it's-
stepping house.
If it's twinkle toesing itself around this swamp, I'm gone.
So Clark, is that what you're doing? You're gonna try to climb the legs?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Why
That's
not?
agility plus athletics for difficulty 3.
Now,
Sounds fun.
we have 6 AP in the pool.
Yeah, let's just spend some of it.
So,
We have to use it. So
yeah, 1 would be a D20, and then 3 would be 2D20.
I just spend 3.
Okay.
We can just
All right.
so
I feel
agility and
having
athletics.
the group pool this year, it makes it a lot easier to track and for me to know what everything is.
It's kind of I
what
like it a lot.
everyone's doing.
So agility, athletics.
Yeah, agility, athletics. Wow,
There you
yeah.
go.
There you go. 3 successes.
Hazel, by the way, did you get your luck point from rolling the 1 on your fast science?
I did take my luck point, yes.
Okay, cool.
All right, so Clark, you managed to grasp onto one of the legs as it's moving, and you're kind of holding on, and it starts to fling you through the air. And almost as the other leg is lifting up, you jump to the other leg at a higher angle so that it's moving back and forth. From there, you manage to grab the bottom of the house as it flings you up towards it, and you are now kind of like pulled yourself up to this porch area. This porch area is very sparse. It's kind of wobbly up there because you're now in a moving house, and there is a door. There is some kind of like almost smoky windows there that you can see lights from inside. You can see that there's a figure in there with a giant centerpiece in the middle of the room. Not much else. That's kind of what you can tell from that window itself. What are you gonna do?
It's big Shadow of the Colossus energy there. I like it.
I'll take off my straw hat like a gentleman and knock on the door.
Okay, yeah. You knock on the door. I like that we're knocking on doors. It's all nice. Yeah, you knock on the door, and
You do have the skeleton key just in case.
You hear a voice from inside that says, "It'll be just a minute," and you wait for a few seconds as the house is kind of like walking, and then the door opens, and you see a ghoul. It's a ghoulish woman in a big, wide-brimmed hat. She's wearing this kind of like a dress that has these flowing sleeves. Kind of like a skirt with flowing sleeves themselves, these big black combat boots on the bottom of it. It's kind of like almost like a flowing outfit in itself in black and white colors. You see her, and behind her you see this like kind of like mass of something in the middle of the room along with these tables. And she says, "Well, how the hell did you get up here? Why don't you just come on in and have a seat, and we'll just talk about whatever you need help with. I'm sure that it was really important for you to get up here, and I'm really proud of what you did, and I'm really glad you didn't hurt my friend trying to get up here. So I'm particularly happy to see a visitor, especially one as capable as you."
Ma'am, that is so great to hear, and I think that sounds wonderful. Thank you for inviting me in.
Well, of course, honey. Now come on in, sit down, and she brings you into this room. This room is it's kind of like a refashioned cabin. The outer edges of the room have a typical kitchen set. She has her bed, has some seating areas and some tables that are around the outside, but the middle of the room is very interesting. There is 2 tables that are right beside her with a bunch of kind of like chemicals and ingredients, it looks like, on these tables, but flanking the tables between is this massive lump that has a head protruding from it that looks like kind of like an emaciated ghoul. On the other 2 sides, you can tell that there are also 2 more heads popping out from behind the tables that are popping out of this center mass that look like an emaciated ghoul. From behind, you can see that arms kind of reach up from this mass and are kind of like moving things and feeding the heads from some of the ingredients on the table. She brings you over to a couch that's kind of on the outside of the room and pours a little bit of tea for you and sits down on the couch and says, "Now, I know this is looking pretty weird, but this is my house and this is my pet. I call him Davy. Say hi, Davy." And the three heads kind of turn their eyes at you and go, and she looks at you and says, "Now, what brings you all the way up here?"
Well, I'll be honest. I only climbed up here to see if I could. And I didn't really have any plan beyond that. I'm really not the planner of the group. I'm more of the doer of the group. And I didn't know if I was going to get this far. But I'm glad. I'm glad we're here. You're very lovely.
Wait, you've got a group of people?
Oh yeah. There's three more down there. 3 more in my group.
Oh, well, if you had friends, that's fine. And she goes over and whispers something in one of the heads' ears. And at that point, the house lurches. You all have been watching this house kind of like following it as it moves around. And then all of a sudden, the legs kind of like almost kneel down. So there's enough room for you all to get into the house and onto the porch. Is that what you all are going to do?
Yeah. Heck yeah, let's go.
Yeah. Pep will say, well, Clark either killed the house or he made friends.
Yeah, you all jump up onto this porch and enter through the door. At that point, the house lurches back up and begins its movements again. You all seem the same scene that Clark has seen that I described earlier. As you come in, the woman looks at you all and says, "Well, I wasn't expecting such a party out here. It's good to have you all here. I'm glad that are y'all safe? Are y'all okay? There's nobody's hurt or anything?"
Actually, I am a little hurt. Got shot by a laser.
Well, I mean that's not abnormal in these times that we're living in. Well, just is there something I can get for you or anything?
Well, most of the blood on him isn't his, at least. So maybe like a wet nap or a napkin, maybe a towel.
Hey, you got a stim
do
pack?
a charisma plus speech for difficulty 2, Hazel.
Charisma, which I'm not good at, plus speech, which I am also not great at. 0 successes.
At this point, the lady kind of looks at Hazel and Pep and says, "So you tell me y'all are killers? But now you're killing people, shooting lasers at people?"
No, we were shot out by a deranged individual wearing a spider outfit.
I'm a healer,
honey,
and
he's harmless.
Oh,
Why did he attack you all?
Ma'am, ignore those two. Like I said, I'm more doer of the group rather than the planner. Those two are not the talkers of the group. You want to talk to the other guy.
Which one of them?
The other, I don't know.
The nightmare.
Metal person. Lonnie, come over here.
I'm the talker now. Okay.
You're the talker. He's our nightmare. He's the nightmare. So he's the one you want to talk to.
So what happened to Samuel?
Oh, Samuel's fine.
Who's Samuel? Is he the pleasant chap with the swamp honey?
No, the man in the spider suit. He was down there in his cave. He was mostly just minding his own business. He kept on talking about some giant creature walking around and kept on being afraid of me or whatever with my, house the way it is.
So did you think your house was the giant creature walking around? Maybe?
he started spewing rumors like there was some giant creature who's going to come destroy everything over here. But Davey here's never heard a creature in his life, and I've made sure that he's very well taken care of. I can tell you that.
So,
He seems
two
very
things. One, Samuel did shoot at us. I'll brandish my now broken arms. Two, this giant creature, if he wasn't talking about your domicile here, we've also been concerned about a potential giant creature.
Oh God, you guys are going to go back into the ground now. You're going to make out a big outfit and be afraid of me. Well, that's fine, I guess.
No. It's just that I'm personally from Old Nolans, and it's been a downright mess over there. And
I'd say so with with Marty Buffon and everything and all of his stupid ass clones he's got running around over there. I try to keep myself out of that. He's been doing that for years.
yeah,
You know what Marty was up to then.
Oh yeah, I did. He's come and visit me multiple times. I thought he was my friend for the longest time, but then he up and left.
now, okay, I'd like to do you one better. Do you know why he was making those clones?
He said for something that he wanted to find the secret of immortality. That was the whole point. But then something got him spooked one day, and he was talking. I mean, we had talked for hours and hours upon life and what it means to be alive, and I mean, obviously, as a ghoul, I know that that's the true immortality sometimes of that's what makes you live, at least for as long until you turn feral. And I've been lucky enough to not turn feral in my life, but he seemed pretty spooked about something and felt like that he needed to have full control of the situation. So one day he just up and disappeared, and that's when I think he started they started with this whole like communism thing that they were doing, where they had certain like social credits, and nobody could go in the city unless you were invited. You know anything about that?
Yeah, I kind of lived that. I was raised in Old Islands. But we think we know what had him spooked. There was some research being done in the vault over in Old Islands, and it had determined that some large thing called the Gulf Entity, or what it had called the Gulf Entity, was going to emerge from the Gulf and begin laying waste to the states.
Well, that sounds awfully familiar. I mean, that's kind of what Samuel had talked about with me before. I'm surprised y'all didn't get along better.
We tried to talk.
We tried.
Well, this is awkward because I mean you've killed my friend, and I've invited you into my house here, and it looks like you still got my friend's blood kind of all over you. So
I mean, I can understand if you don't want us to be in here anymore, but before we take our leave, I think we've got to know anything else you may know about this Gulf Entity. I mean, we're ultimately trying to stop this thing, if that's worth anything to you.
Yeah, do a charisma plus speech for difficulty 3, I would say.
Ooh. So that's impossible for me. But I'm just going to roll it.
Okay. I thought you were the talker of the group.
That's what I've been told. With that, 4 charisma and 1 speech. Still 1 success, though.
Yeah, okay.
It's not bad.
The lady looks at you.
Try to assist with this.
How are you going to
a little
assist?
bit better.
It won't bring us to a success.
Yeah. was thinking he could do Ernie Hudson in Ghostbusters, where he just chimes is like, "I've seen shit that'll turn you white," to really hit it home.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you have speech as a tag skill?
I don't have it as a tag skill, but I do have speech of
Then
4.
you won't be able to hit it.
Yeah.
You have to have 2 successes, and you just rolled 1 dice. I think the only person that has speech as a tag skill might be Clark.
So,
Clark's got his own machinations happening.
Yeah, you do you. Like this is 100% Lonnie. He's not a talker.
This has gone
awkwardly.
downhill far too quickly for Clark to try and keep bailing you out. He's got his own goals at this point.
Yeah.
This lady kind of looks at you, Lonnie, and says, I mean, honestly, like, these people that have lived out here for generations are afraid. We're all afraid of the outside world and what that world brings to us. And we found our own little ecosystem to exist in. We're kind of like an island of misfit toys in themselves. So I'm afraid I'm not going to be of very much help to you because I don't know much about monsters. I just know about this land here.
That's fine. Just know that, we've also been trying to carve our own path. We're also a bit of misfits. I mean, I'm trying to make a connection with you here. And what I'm trying to convey is that we are outcasts, and we are trying to fix a big problem that,
Lonnie,
like it or not, is going to affect you.
Ma'am, did I say that he was the talker of the group? He is also not the talker of the group. It turns out that I am actually the doer of the group and the talker of the group. So, friends, please, if you could, I think you've done quite enough. You've really put a whole damper on this nice lady's day. Why don't you 3 go, and I will catch up with you later. Now I'll finish my cup of tea with my new friend here, if that's all right, ma'am.
Well, Clark, you come in, and she's been nothing but nice, and she's been the spirit of hospitality. You didn't mention that the blood that's on Pep is because we were trying to help a living guy out of a hole in the ground that he trapped us in. You didn't mention that there's this lovely swamp honey that you could put in her tea. I mean, honestly, I think you're leaving out all this stuff that makes us look good so you can look better.
Don't worry, Hazel. He needs all the help he can get.
That is fair. That's fair. Okay, fine. Sorry, ma'am. I'm so sorry to take your time. Thank you for the hospitality and for your patience. We're gonna let you two get acquainted a little better, and we'll be outside.
Is the house gonna pull over, or do we just need to jump?
You guys are in
out?
power armor. You can can you just give me a quick ride? We can just jump down. Well, you guys could jump down and wait a minute. What am I saying? All right, Lonnie, can you give me a ride down?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Told
Sorry,
you
Pep.
like
I
it
love
like
you,
that.
but the last time I rode on your shoulders, it didn't turn out real well for.
Well, it
either
got
of
a
us.
little awkward. I understand.
Mm-hmm. And then the next guy you had on your shoulders is still technically kind of on your shoulders. So, yeah. Okay.
Not in front of the.
We should go. We should go.
Lady.
What? Like she doesn't know? Let's just go.
Just making it worse. All right. Well,
can't-
we'll see you
I'm
later,
incapable of lying.
Clark.
I cannot lie. I don't lie. I'm not good at it. Because I can never remember what I said if I lie, so I got to tell the truth, even if it's.
Would you 3 get the fuck out already?
All right, bye.
All right, so you all exit onto the porch. Lonnie, you hold Hazel as you all jump down to the 4th floor as the walking Davy walks away with the house. Clark, you are alone with the woman, and she looks at you and says, I've never in my life met people like the sitcoms in the old days. A lot of those were about a person with a bunch of really terrible friends that were just the absolute worst.
It's
The worst of
absolutely
the
fucking
worst.
exhausting. It's so
I
fucking
understand.
exhausting. Nobody gets it, and then people say I'm the fucking asshole. I'm getting so worked up. I've been really lately. I got some very bad news, and I've really been trying to take life a little bit slower. But you see what I put up with? Do you see what I put up with? Oh, 1 week ago, 1 week ago, I had perfect black hair. Look at this now.
I don't expect is people to come in here, and not have killed anyone. Like these are the times that we live in. Like we all have to make these hard decisions. But the people come in here joking about how they just killed a guy and still got their blood on them, and then that's your friend on top of it. Like, I don't know, just like tone sensitive. And then to question me about what my friend knew about the stuff that he was talking about. And I'm thinking to myself, he could have just asked him, but no, can't now.
I know. That's why, if I attack somebody and I think they might have some information that I want from them, I'll just cripple them. I'll just cut off a leg or something like that, like a normal person. Not just murder them. I mean, I'll murder them if, I don't think they have any information I need. But you get what I'm saying, right? These people, there's no finesse.
I think I understand in your way of what you're trying to say to me. I think I understand that. Now you told me you really didn't know what you were looking for, what you wanted to do. You just kind of wanted up here for fun. So I mean, we can still, hang out and talk about the old times or whatever. But if you need something or anything, you just please let me know before you leave or anything, and I can try my best to help you.
I mean, you heard them. We came out here trying to find information about this Gulf entity. Honestly, from my perspective, I don't really see the point. If what people are saying is true and it's this gigantic cataclysmic entity that's going to destroy everything, then what's the point? What's the point? I mean, unless there's somebody out there that could give us some information that might help us avoid this whole situation. I don't know what I'm doing out here.
So I know Samuel came from the vault that's out here, and I don't really know where that is, but I do know that there's a group of people out here. They often come and visit me. I don't really know where they're located. They're called Guys Not, and they live up kind of in the northern area of the bayou. They would know where the vault is, but I don't really have much information to give you as to where they could be located. But I've got a friend of mine, Nicholas. He lives out at the graveyard. I guess he kind of lives in a certain way out in the graveyard, and he has done a lot of scouting from his house of what's around the area. He may be able to help you get to the Guys Not, and I'm pretty sure that they know more about the vault than most people would. Samuel probably knew the most, but outside of him, probably them.
Well, that's helpful. I'll well, if it's not too much trouble to ask, this tea is really great. Maybe I could stay for a second cup of tea, and do you think your house could walk us a little bit closer to your friend's graveyard?
Yeah,
would that be all right?
That sounds nice. Yeah.
All right.
At this point, Clark, you get another short rest, so all your spell slots are recovered. You're just doing it. You're finding ways to just like have some nice rest, and I like that. It's like, how can I just like chill out while things just happen? the rest of you don't really know what's going on, but you're following the house to make sure that Clark is not getting lost or doing his thing. But you come up on this graveyard area. It's got a few tombstones on it, but also like it's almost like a pyramid of stone on the back side of it. It's very large. It's like, frankly, it's like one of the largest structures that you've seen out here in this area. It's probably, I would say, 3 stories tall, this pyramid itself, but the graveyard kind of surrounds it in that regard. And as the Davy pulls up to the graveyard, he kneels down, and the door opens, and the lady turns to you and says, "Oh, we're finally here. We're at the graveyard. I'll go find Nicholas now. I think he's over there in that pyramid. You can tell him I sent him. I sent you. He might. I don't really know how he feels about me particularly. So I'm not really his speed. But if you need any more help, I'm always here. And if you're looking for new friends, I'm sure I could find you some."
Well, I appreciate that, and thank you for your time.
Oh, you're welcome. And she continues at her table mixing some potions and stuff. Yeah, you all are at the graveyard. Clark, I guess you're getting out of Davy, and you are now on the ground with the rest of the crew at a graveyard.
Oh, look who decided to follow along.
Oh, is that your new girlfriend? You guys going steady?
Yeah,
Cool.
she's
No,
robbing the
see-
cradle. She must not have any compunctions about dating minors.
This is why I have to just do everything. If it's important, Clark has to do it. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable the shenanigans that you guys get up to every time. Every time. You see, when I get up to shenanigans, they work out. That's the difference. When Pep gets up to shenanigans, he kills people by accident. At least I kill people on purpose.
Right, but it still works out. It's just there's casualties. So technically, for both of you, it works out, and there's casualties. So
it's a wash.
maybe don't cast any shame. Like don't cast all that shade you got there, Mr. Relaxing under a tree.
And Mr. Nightmare, every time there's negotiations, every time, you get us nowhere. Can we admit that at this point?
I'd like to remind you that you voted for me.
I think we should have another election.
For what?
Yeah,
well, honestly, I don't know.
Clearly. You've
I
got
mean,
a
we
love
don't exactly.
fog going on
We
with your
don't
new
have the
girlfriend
Rising
and
Sun
walking
settlement
out.
anymore.
Yeah, we lost that.
We're not in New Orleans anymore. We're persona non grata in New Orleans.
Yeah, we lost that.
And some of us have lost, family members. Some of us have lost friends.
Our innocence.
I'm sorry, what, Pep?
What?
Nothing.
No.
But anyway, so Clark,
Look,
I know you're going through something, but you're kind of being a huge dick right now. And then
look,
using it as clout to pretend that you're not a huge dick. I don't get it. What's your end game here?
Look. Okay. You guys need to learn how to read people just a little bit better. A little bit better.
Books.
You came in too hot, Hazel. You came into this situation way too hot. All right. You're pointing
fair.
out entrails of her friend on Pep's power armor. It was too much.
He's out of line,
Would
but
she
he's
not
right.
have noticed? She asked if there was anything she could do for us, and I asked for a towel. Like, was that overreaching? Am I Am I that guy?
No, you just misread the room. Look,
All right,
I was
Clark,
a bit harsh.
you're
I was a bit
obviously-
harsh back there.
The
You
room
are-
was
a bit
3
harsh
stories
back
in the
there.
air on a pair of walking legs. I didn't know what the hell that was.
Clark,
Yeah,
you're
and plus you
obviously
had like a basket
the
case monster in the living room. I didn't know what to do. You couldn't
you're
read
obviously
that room.
the expert on the subject. So how about whatever reason we are at this graveyard? I figure it was so you could put another body in the ground. Maybe
think,
it still will
honestly-
be, but whatever reason we're at this graveyard, how about you show us how it's done?
I really don't want to, but I'll try.
You'll
I'll
try?
I'll
You'll
try.
try?
I'll try.
Thanks for trying. Thanks for putting
Now,
in
I
a
think-
single bit of goddamn effort.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome. Now, before we start on this, it kind of sounded like the guy that we're going to go talk to is maybe. I should use some cryptic words, so I don't really know what to expect.
Oh, it shouldn't be a problem for a master of negotiations such as yourself. Let's
No,
let
it
the
shouldn't.
master work.
No,
All
it
right.
shouldn't be a problem.
Let's
It
let the
shouldn't be a
master
problem.
work. Everybody get out your notepads and let's take some fucking notes while the master
Okay.
works his magic.
So, Lonnie, as annoyed as I am with Clark, I have to admit he did get results.
Did he though? We're here. We would have come here anyway. Do we even
Well,
know what
yeah,
to
but
ask this guy?
he can call the guy by name, and maybe that'll give us an advantage if we need to get some information from him.
We
I
don't
mean,
need any advantages. We have Clark, master negotiator.
Lonnie, have you ever heard of Guy Who's Not?
Should I have?
Maybe. All right, let's go, team.